Hi guys, how are you? Okay, so let me just open up the notebook that we have discussed in the or covered in the previous lecture. So that was combined and then the eighth notebook, right? So yeah, this is the eighth notebook that we are having. Right. So I will just create a new notebook from this notebook, and I will just rename that notebook as the ninth notebook, and then we'll just move further. Guys, is my screen visible? Vishal Maria Mangulin, screen is visible or not?
Visible.
Okay, great. So yeah. So let's just import in the numpy as np and again import pandas as pd, right? So here I am just importing in both the libraries, and let's just see that what have we covered in the previous lecture in here. Okay, so yeah, in the previous lectures, okay, we have covered in the boolean values, okay, how to get the condition. Okay, if we are having a condition, for example, we wanted the marks to be greater than 4, then we were having a basic true false array or true false data frame. And if we want to see the exact marks that are available, we can just pass that complete condition in the data frame itself in the square bracket format. Now, moving further with this one, okay, so let's just discuss the same data frames concept with NumPy in the other notebook, right? And what will I have in here? Okay, so I'll just create again a basic dictionary, right? So I'm just creating a dictionary, and firstly, let me just tell you what is the meaning of np.nan. Okay, so NumPy is having a basic function known as a nan function that is generally used to handle the missing values, right? Sorry, not missing values, to the values that are not available, right? So in some positions we might have seen that we are sometimes having na written, right? Na is not a number, okay, not available. Sometimes we are having not a number, okay, or number accessible not, okay, and so on. There are many formats, okay, many full forms for nan. So nan can be generally treated as not a number, right? So if we are not having a particular value stated, okay, there are situations in which we can just replace those values, right? Okay, so there are some situations in which we can just replace those values, okay, with a basic zero or a basic integer or something else. But there are also some conditions in which we cannot handle the missing values directly by replacing with zero, right? So if we are having a missing value, okay, that is nan, right? So not every time we can just replace that nan value, okay. Replacing with zero won't work every time, okay. Why replacing with zero technique won't work every time? Because let's say if we are having a salary data, right? Okay, if we are having the names of the persons and then their salary, and if rather than writing nan in a particular column or in a particular cell, if we are writing in the zero, then it will be counted as a zero salary, right? So that will actually create problems while you will be just visualizing it, or while you will be making some calculations, because a salary is equal to zero is a very less salary that one can expect. And if it is a temperature data set, and even in a temperature data set, if the particular temperature is not available, let's say if we are having a machine that is just uh, checking the temperature of the room, and it is just maintaining a excel sheet. Now that particular machine just went down, okay, it was turned off for let's say 2 minutes. So we'll be having the missing values for those 2 minutes, and if we will use the same technique of replacing that missing value with zero, then it will just replace all the missing values with zero temperature, 0 degree temperature. And if it is a temperature, then 0 degree will be the wrong replacement for na, right? So that is the case. We cannot use only the replacing with zero method or only replacing with any particular number every time. There are situations in which we can just deal with nan by replacing with zero, and if that is not the case, then we'll have to think of some other methods that will fit best according to the situation. Okay, so let's say if I am having a basic dictionary that is again having some names, then the list for names. We are having some age, then the list for the age, right? Let's say, and then we are having the address, for example, and then the list for the address. Okay, so here we are having the names, we are having the age, and then the address. So in case of names, for example, if I'm just writing the names as Ayush, for example, then TCIL, right? Then, for example, I'm just passing in np.nan. Okay. After that, I'm just passing in, let's say, some particular name, for example, Naveen, right? And some other name, for example, here we are having Naveen as a name, and then we are having the Praveen as a name, right? So there are situations in which we can have a basic dictionary in this particular format with these particular values, right? And if we are having these particular values, then here we will just, if I will just plot that data frame, okay, or I will just plot that dictionary, right, with those ages, we will see that inside of the output we will be having the nan in the places where we have specified np.nan. So I'm just randomly assigning some of the age as missing values, and some of the values I'm just passing in directly, let's say 34, 35. Then again, let's say missing values. Okay, then I'm just specifying 67, for example. Then I can just specify the address, for example, np.nan will be the address. Let's say we will be having the address as 2334. Then we will be address, okay, so here we were having np.nan again. Okay, let's say again I can just pass in the np.nan. Okay, so here we are having three values, and again np.nan, right? So here is our collection of the basic dictionary, and let me just run that dictionary. And what will I do? I will just print that dictionary as well. So after printing, we can just see that in case of address, we are having some particular values as np.nan. And notice one basic change or one basic key point, that the basic keys that we are having are automatically arranged in the ascending order, right? We have specified the names in the first key, the second key was the age, the third key was the address. But when I just printed that dictionary, it was showing me the basic keys arranged in the ascending order. Clear? So here we can just notice that A and A is same, so which will come in top, whether address will come in top or age will come in top. So if we are having the same output or the same first letter, then we will just take the second letter for the arrangement. So here we can just see the second letter was D in the address, and for the age it was G. So here we can just say that the particular address is actually lesser than the age. Clear? Guys, any doubt in this one?
No, sir.
Okay. Now let's just move further. Now according to this data frame, if I will just write in the pg.dataframe again, right, and I will just pass in the dictionary again. So all this particular data will be returned in the form of a data frame, and the data frame is changing the small n values into the capital N, A, and then the n values, right? So that is how we can just change the basic appearance of that as well. We can just change anything into the data frame, so it will be having a clearer appearance. And let me just give that particular variable a name. That will be my underscore data frame is equal to, again, my underscore data frame, and here we are having the my underscore data frame. Now the main condition, okay, wait a second, just a second, guys. Okay, guys. So now we can see that inside that data frame we are having some missing values. Now what we will do, we will just try to change that missing values data frame. Okay. Firstly, one of the option that comes into our mind if we are having a data frame that is having missing values, one simplest option is deleting those rows. Okay, deleting what? Deleting those rows that are having missing values. So here we can use in the drop na method. Drop na method will do the basic functionality. It will just scan each row one by one and it will delete all rows from the data frame that will be having nan inside it. So the first row is having multiple nan values. First row will be deleted, second won't be deleted, third row will be deleted, fourth will be deleted, and fifth will be deleted, right? So drop na works in that way. And if again I will just write that print my underscore data frame, the original data frame will be again back again, because we have not updated that method of dropping, right? So to update that data frame, what we require, we'll have to do the basic updation of the variable, that is my data frame is equal to old data frame dot drop na. So this particular data frame with the dropped nan values will be updated and my underscore data frame will be present there. Clear? Any doubt, guys? Okay. Now let's just move further. With this particular drop na, we are having again the different functionality as well. What is that different functionality? I can even use that my underscore data frame, then the fill na values. Now inside the fill na, I actually have to specify what I want to fill. For example, here we have to fill in the string. If you want to fill in the string, you can just write it in quotes. If you just want to fill the with the particular number, for example 0, you can write a number. So here I just wanted to fill it with a basic string, and here I'm just giving the message that it is not available. And when I will just run it, each particular nan value will be updated and it will be replaced with the not available, because you have just specified it in the value parameter. Clear? Now if we want to change it into 0, like I told, so here we can, if for example if we want to change it in 0, we can even fill it in the form of 0 by directly writing value is equal to 0. So all those na values or nan values will be updated and changed to 0 now. Clear? Guys, any doubt till here?
No, sir.
Okay, now let's just move further. Now again, if I will just write in the my underscore data frame, now let's just see a different method. Wait a second. Let's just see a different method now. Okay, so let's just understand a different method here. That will be my data frame. Just write your data frame name, and then we can again write in the drop na. That is my data frame drop na. But in this drop na, I will just specify a basic parameter that is equal to the thresh. So let's say I just want to delete those rows, only those rows that are having 2 or more than 2 nan values, right? And we want to delete only those rows, we want to drop only those nan values in which the occurrence is equal to 2 or more than 2. So what will it do? It will only delete. Okay, let me just write the my underscore data frame here firstly, so that you can just compare it directly. So it will only delete in the basic rows that are available. Let's just see that what are the rows that it is deleting. It is deleting the 0th row, right? It is deleting the second row, okay, and the only the 0th and the second, because they were having 2 nan values inside that. Okay, so thresh is equal to 2 will actually delete those rows that are having minimum 2 values, and the nan values can go more than 2 as well. Clear? Shall we move further now? Okay, so that was a simple parameter, simple method. Now guys, is it clear? Any doubt in handling missing values inside the data frame by direct applications? Vishal, Mariam and Bulleen, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's just move further now. Here I will be teaching you a new concept now. Let's say we are having some company sales data. Okay, and this is actually a dictionary. Okay, and in dictionary I am having some company name. Okay, so here I'll be having some company names, then the name of employees. Okay, we are having the company and the name of employee, and let's say how many sales that particular employee did. We are having that details as well. So in case of company, for example, I am having multiple companies. Let's say I'm just writing here Amazon. Just be careful, the string should be same, only then this method will be working. So the string format should be same. For example, if you are just writing Amazon and Amazon, so if you are just giving the capital A at front, the next Amazon should also follow the same uppercase and lowercase at the same indexes. So I am just writing Amazon and Amazon as the first two companies and the first two values. Then let's say I'm just writing in the Flipkart. Okay, so similar to it again we will be having the Flipkart, and after Flipkart, for example, again Flipkart and then Shopcluse. Clear? Yeah. So three Flipkarts and one Shopcluse. Clear? So this is a basic company names data. So here we are having the company names, and now we need the name of the employees. For example, the name of the employees are, for example, Ayush and then Rahul. Okay, and I can specify Sneha, Rohit, for example. Okay, moving further, let's say let's specify the Rohit and Nia again, and let's say I'm just passing in the Nia. Okay, so these are some random students' name. Okay, that can be placed here. So that is in the names format, and then we are just writing the appropriate sales for each particular person. So let's say 13. We will have 14. We will have 34. Let's say then 2. Okay, now let's just increase it and let's just decrease it, right? So this is the company sales data that we have created. Let's just print it, and again what I will do, I will just create a basic data frame again, and is data frame. Inside this data frame I will just pass in the company sales data. Okay, so it was data frame, not dat frame. Okay, so here we are having a basic data frame. Now guys, just notice one thing, that inside this particular data frame, the inside the company column, we are having the companies repeated, right? Amazon is being repeated 2 times, Flipkart is being repeated 3 times, and we are having some names. Okay, even some particular names are being repeated twice, right? That is Rohit and Rohit, and their sales. Okay, the sales are unique, right? So in this particular condition, what if I just want to club all the sales or all the data for Amazon, then I want to club all the data from Flipkart, then I want to club all the data from Shopcluse, etc. Right? If that is my basic requirement, then in this particular repeating data frame, if the values inside the data frame are being repeated, then what we can think of is, we can think of grouping. Clear? Guys, can you notice the repetition here? Okay, so here we are having the repetition. Let me repeat it again. We are having Amazon repeated twice. We are having the company name Flipkart repeated thrice, and then we are having the shop use. So in this particular data frame, we are having repeated values. So if I just want to, let's say I just want to sum all the sales by Amazon, and I just want to compare it with the all sales of the Flipkart. So rather than doing it manually, right? Rather than, for example, if it was a data frame of 2000 rows or 20,000 rows, and if we were having values repeating, for example, the company data was being repeated and Amazon was coming, let's say 1516 times randomly at random positions inside that data frame. So it is practically not possible to just manually write the indexes of that data frame because Amazon is present in that. Firstly, we'll have to iterate, then we'll have to compare, and then we will just have to create a basic array that will be having the indexes at the position which Amazon is being repeated. Guys, any doubt till here? Guys, Vishal Gurleen, any doubt?
सर वो एरे वगैरह कैसे बनेगा?
Okay. Let me just tell you that. Actually, I'm just telling you, giving you an example. Okay. The main objective here is to just understand how to club those rows that are having Amazon, how to club those rows that are having Facebook, and how to club those rows that are having shop clues inside them. Right? This was a basic company sales data. But in general, if we are just talking about a company sales data, okay, then we can well imagine that we will be having thousands or even lakhs of lines of data in that. So if we want to just do the segregation of creating grouping, okay, then we can just do that here as well. Now let's just understand how. Okay, in this particular situation, what will I do? Firstly, I will just save this data frame as comp underscore sales, that is company underscore sales. That will be having the basic record for the company sales. So this is the name of the data frame. Okay, now what will I do? I will just write in the company sales dot grouped, right? And this is a basic new variable that will be having the company sales in the grouped format. And here I can just write the comp underscore sales dot group by. Okay, so here we are having the comp underscore sales, and what I'm using a basic group by option. Now group by will actually ask me, it will ask me for a basic input parameter, that if you are just trying to do a group by, then on what particular column, okay, on what particular column values do you want to perform the major grouping on. So here we are having the basic grouping concept inside the company column, right? So comp sales is the name of the data frame, and the basic name of the column that we are having in the data frame is company, right? Right, guys?
यस सर.
Okay, so if we are having the company in here, so what I will do, I will just pass in the company here, and let's just try to print this company sales underscore grouped, and you will see that you won't get any output here, right? So here we are not having an output, okay, but what exactly we have done inside the backend, we have just specified that we want to group according to the individual companies that are present. So it will just assign Amazon, okay, and it will check that which particular rows are having Amazon in the same sequence. It will just combine those rows. It will then check for the different element other than Amazon, that is Flipkart. Then it will check how many rows are having Flipkart in them. It will create a separate submission or anything of separate group for Flipkart, and then the separate group for shop clues, right? Now to just analyze, for example, we just want to analyze the complete sales by each company. What we can do, I can just write the name of the basic variable, and then I can just do a dot sum here. So what will it do? It will actually increase, or it will actually sum individual companies, and the sale for each company in total will be present here. Clear? Clear, guys? So we can just see that Amazon is having 27 sales, Flipkart is having 81 sales, and ShopClues is having only 6 sales. If you want to take in the mean of all the rows that are having, of all Amazon rows, of all Flipkart rows, and of all ShopClues rows, individually, then we can just pass in the mean, and for each particular company the mean sale value will be calculated. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? And what else we can just do? We can just also use in the dot describe function. And by using the describe function, here we can just see that we are having, again on the left hand side, we are having the individual companies, and then we are having the count, the mean, the standard deviation, 25%, 50%, 75%, and the max value. Clear? So that is how we can just do the grouping, right? We can just use in the dot mean, dot sum, and many other parameters that you want to use. Clear? Now let's just understand this by a basic example of the dataset as well. So let me just go to the bottom left folder here, that is this particular icon, then click on the upload file to the particular session storage, and here I will just upload my dataset. Clear? So I have just selected the dataset from my PC, and after hitting enter, on the left hand side we can just see that our dataset will be visible here. So the dataset, that is .csv file, that means comma separated values. The basic dataset that I'll be using right now will be rainfall in India since 2001, sorry, since 1901 till 2015. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me just double click on this dataset. You can even just view the dataset by directly clicking on double click, and let's just understand that what type of data is present inside that particular dataset, right? Okay, so here we can just see that this particular data set is having the subdivision column, it is having the year column, it is having the 12 months, so it is a rainfall data. We are having multiple subdivisions. Now just notice again that the subdivisions that we are having, that is Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the multiple times this particular subdivision is being repeated, right? The number of rows inside this data set are 4116. Okay, the years are 1901 till 2015, and some particular years are being repeated as well, right? Okay, so here we are having the basic years, then the January rainfall, February, March, April, May, June, July, and then the December rainfall. Then we are having the annual rainfall. Okay, then we are having the particular season rainfall, that is for the Jan to Feb, March to May, June to September, and October to December. Now this is a complete large data set, and what we will do, we will use our pandas to just read this data set that has been uploaded into the Google Colab, right? So what will I do, I will just write pd.read underscore csv, because it is .csv format, and here I will just copy that name, control C, .csv, and let's just understand that what is the format in which this particular csv file will be readed. So again we can just see that this particular csv file is in the format of DataFrame. Now it is having 4116 rows as well as 19 columns. So the amount of data that is present inside this data set is quite large, because it is 411, that is 4116 into 19, so that much data set cells are possible. And again we can just save this particular data set into a variable known as, for example, ds is equal to something, and here I will just write the ds as well. Okay, so let's just write the ds here, and again what I will do, I will just tell you how to make the basic group by here. So if I will just write in the ds dot group by, and if I will just try to group this particular data set on the basis of subdivision, because we are having the subdivisions being repeated, I can even group it on the basis of year or on the January if I am having repeated values. But in subdivision we know, we can just clearly see that we are having different values. So let me just pass the subdivision in here, and this group by column, let's say we are just saving it in grouped. So I'm just writing the group name, that will be dataset.group by, and let me just print in the group. Okay, so let me just remove this piping symbol. And now we are having the group that is having the subdivisions. And what if I just want to do a basic sum? So I can just write in the group dot sum, and it will just give me the sum of all particular individual basic regions, right? So here the subdivision was Andaman and Nicobar. So all the rows that were having Andaman and Nicobar inside it, all the rows have been put on a submission, that is 215481, right? So all those years that were actually for the subdivision is equal to Andaman and Nicobar Islands. We don't know how many rows, but all those rows have been added, and each column has been updated with the multiple rows as well. Clear? So here we can see that from the year 2000, from the year 1901 till 2015, right? The trend according to the years, or the total number of years that are passed, is this much. The total rainfall, okay, inside this particular tenure is this much. In February it is this much, and annually it is this much. Clear? Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is a basic method. Now if I just want to see the average rainfall in each particular region, so what I can just do, I can just write in the group by dot mean. Okay, sorry, the group dot mean, and that particular group dot mean will be having all values. And let's say if we just want only the January column, we can specify that we only want the January column, and so on. But now we are having the mean values. Firstly we were having the sum values. Any doubt? Guys, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so